Hello, CC friends. This is going to be Unit 9 of Straight Lines for the Math Mat. So, really excited about this week. I'm going to change up the format of my videos just a little bit. And how we're going to do it is I'll do like an introductory video just about, kind of my take on it and where it might be used in higher levels of math. And then, there'll be two more videos. One video, I'm just going to start outlining things that are either, important for them at their current grade level per, most other standard curriculums. And also, even if it's not something they would learn yet in seventh grade, for example, for the complex, that are still important for them to do and simple enough for them to probably be able to do on their own without any issues. And then the third video I'll post will just have for a few of the more challenging or maybe concepts that you've never seen before, just a brief explanation of what they are, maybe an example problem or two. So we'll just talk about the straight lines unit for a little bit. It's awesome. I love that now we're getting into 2D. So I was like, well, crack a math joke and say this is where it all comes together. So, uh, when you look at it, it's going to look very, very different than the other units. Some places might look the same, but when you look at some of the things that are covered in here, it's quite brilliant. Just how they're introducing them to higher levels of math at such a young age, even for the levels of the fractions or the naturals. I highly encourage you, if you have access to those through the CC Connected, to look at them as well, even if they're if you have a child in complex, but you're kind of paralleling, maybe you need to go back and review some things. But there's just so much fun stuff in there. My daughters really, really enjoyed the change of pace because it went from just some of it being a lot of math to what felt like them drawing and connecting dots, and it was just plotting points. And we love Battleship in my house, so it was awesome to see that they have the Battleship as the game. My lighting is a little poor in here this morning, I apologize, but we have Battleship in the back of the book as the game. So they really enjoyed this. So I hope your kids enjoy it too. I hope you enjoy it with them. Again, as I always say, there's a lot of brand new concepts in here, or concepts maybe you saw years ago that might feel a little bit stressful, but don't stress too much. So as I look at it, the biggest theme I see is we're talking about taking some of the math that we've learned and plotting it onto a grid system. And most of the time, when they experience, some kids do take pre-algebra and are starting to see this in seventh grade, especially. They even kind of incorporated it a tiny bit in the younger years with the coordinate plane. And the coordinate plane is just, it is your, well, the lighting is wondrously dark in here. So your coordinate plane is kind of that grid system that you see on graph paper. I usually draw it like this. You have your x-axis and your y-axis, and then you're plotting points for x and y. So with when they are going through this, it's not just X and Y. And you'll see very quickly there's something else going on here, which is called the polar coordinate system. And the polar coordinate system measures things by a radius and an angle, opposed to just going out an X distance and up a Y distance. But it's really brilliant how they parallel those two systems so so neatly that you can really see in most of the examples how they're working and what it is. And there's actually conversion factors between the two that they learn in higher levels of math. So it's really awesome that they're connecting that. They're going to get to see a little bit more what do vectors mean, because the vector concepts keep coming up, and vectors are again used in physics a lot. and in science, just all the sciences a lot. So it'll be great for them to be able to see that connection of the vectors. There's many examples in here that really help them master how do we graph a line? What is the, as we know it in algebra, what is the standard equation of a line? So it's teaching them that in a very, just a methodical, fun way where, again, I love how it layers. I'm pretty sure everyone knows this, but that it layers by 4 pages. So you do the first 4 pages, and then as you do the next four, it's a lot of topics repeated, but they get a little harder. And then a lot of topics repeated, but they get even harder. And it's really great how they do that because it helps students be able to grasp it better. It's almost like, as we used to call it in other curriculums, that spiral approach, but it's just spiraling many different different avenues of math and examples. So that's pretty much it for this unit. I hope you have fun with it. There's nothing terribly hard in it as long as you follow along and aren't too hard on yourself. If you need to look at the answers and use the resources, just remember you're learning this with them. This is not this is not something that they should have a thorough or even any prior knowledge on at this point. So if you're looking at it and saying, "Oh no, we never did any of this in their younger years," and maybe you have based on your curriculum, you've seen it before, but don't sweat it and feel like, "Wow, I must have missed something," because this is pretty advanced. Just remember, you're learning it with them, and the process that they're doing this in is wonderful, and it's going to set them up for success as they get into higher levels of math. So have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining. And the next video will just be me detailing out just a few pages and problem sets that I think would be really important for them to master. So thank you for joining.